Okay, so yeah, so here's some questions. Let's talk about these. Which of the following are reasons that a sampling technique may not be scientific? Okay, so what are some things that make a sampling a way of getting data? Sampling is collecting data. We call it sampling, collecting data. So for example, if you're wanting to figure out what's going to happen in the California recall election, that's been hot in the news recently, what could you do? Well, you can collect some data. You could ask different people what they're going to do, with who they're going to vote for, collect some data. That's called sampling. So now there's some ways to do that that might not make it scientific. So for example, self-selected sample. Yeah, so if you just go out and say, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pick my 3 favorite friends and ask them what they're going to vote in the recall election. Well, you can do that if you want to, but you're probably not going to get to the truth of what might actually happen. Okay, I was getting some feedback, so I just muted everybody, but feel free to unmute yourself if you want to talk. All right, so the self-selected sample will make it unscientific. In other words, you can't just pick those people you want to pick or whatever. If you want to get to the truth, say you really want to get to what percentage are going to vote next month to get rid of the governor, to get a new governor. I don't know. What percentage? I don't know. If you want to figure out the truth of that, you can't just ask your friends. A self-selected sample is not scientific method. It's not going to get you the truth. What about the next one? The sample is not representative of the population. Yeah, that's another one. But as they say, well, I'm just going to ask all the people that go to college. I'm just going to ask college students. Well, that's not representative. There's a lot of people in the state of California that are not college students and don't think like college students, right? And so if you just get the opinion of college students only, that doesn't represent the whole state of California. You got to get the college people, the non-college, the old, the young, the various races, the rich, the poor, the people that live in the coast, people that live Northern California, Southern California. You gotta mix it up if you really want to get to the truth. That's the scientific method. Next, the sample size is too small. Yeah, that's a problem. If you only ask 5 people, that's not enough. You got to have a big sample if you want to get to the truth of what percentage might really vote a certain way. That's what they do when they poll ahead of time. They have to be careful. Next, the sample size is not exactly equal to the population parameter. I know we haven't talked about these words yet. Don't worry about that. That's not it. We'll talk about we have mentioned population parameter. That's the percent. That's the percent from the whole population. That'd be like for the whole state of California, what percentage is going to vote. So just because your statistics doesn't come out exactly equal, that's not it. Of course, what you estimate, like you say, I think 52% are going to vote a certain way. Well, that's an estimate. It might not come out exactly 50, maybe it'll come out 51 or 53. That's still pretty close. That it doesn't have to come out exactly the same. That's not the problem. We don't care about that. Next one, the wording of the survey question. Yeah, that can be a problem. If you put on the survey question, are you interested in getting rid of our terrible governor? Or if you put on there, are you interested in getting rid of our wonderful governor? Those kind of words are gonna if you ask people using flowery words one way or the other, you're gonna wreck the survey. So yeah, certain words can make it unscientific. Those are all different ways to wreck a survey, but not that it comes out different from the actual percentage of the whole population. That's what we're trying to figure out. What percentage of the whole state of California are going to vote? Of course, our estimate will not be the same as the real answer, but it's not a problem. It's not a scientific problem. Let's come on down here. Let's try another one.
Professor, I have that first one. So basically, everything except for the 4th one is incorrect. I mean, it's correct.
They might have them in a different order on yours. Yeah, all of them except not exactly equal to the population parameter. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Are in yours.
It's similar. It's similar.
And then this next one, which of the following are reasons that scientific may not be? So let's do some more. The funders of the project are partial to those. Well, yeah, that's a problem, right? If a chocolate, if you read about a new study which showed that chocolate helps people live longer, new study, there's scientific evidence that chocolate helps people live longer. And then you realize the study was sponsored by Hershey. You might go, huh, I don't know if I can trust those results, right? Hershey Company has a motive to make you want chocolate. So that can be a problem. The graphs are drawn in a way to mislead the reader. Yeah, if they have misleading graphs, that's going to wreck it, make it not scientific. Two factors cannot be separated to determine which is the one that is responsible for the outcome. Yeah, that's like we were talking about earlier with the tutoring. Was it the tutoring or better students? Right? What made them come out better? When you gave them a choice, who wants to go to tutoring? Well, then, yeah, the better students chose tutoring. So in the end, we can't separate. Why did that group do better? Was it the tutoring, or was it just that they were already better students? That can wreck it. Yeah. Next one, trying to conclude that there is a cause and effect relationship when something else causes both. Yeah, again, we're trying to figure out, did the tutoring cause it, when really it was the fact that they were better students that was causing tutoring to work and the students to do better. They were just better students. So everything was better. That can wreck it. That's why you got to do an experiment and weed that out. The researcher was not able to survey every individual. No, you don't have to ask every individual. Like if they want to figure out what's going to happen in the California recall election, they don't have to ask every single person in the state. They just have to do a good sample. No. And then lastly, the people who were asked refused to answer. Yeah, if there's a lot of people who refuse to answer, that's a problem. That can wreck the study because they do have an opinion and they're not sharing it with you. So you're not getting the real information. So those are all problems on that one. That making sense so far? So we got 2 of those done. And then one more. As part of a statistics project, Charlie would like to collect data on household size in his city. To do so, he asks each person in his stats class for the size of their household and reports the results in a simple random sample. However, this is not a simple random sample. So Charlie's trying to figure out household size in his city. So what if I want to figure out what's the average household size in Fresno, California? What if I went and just asked everybody in my stats class, how many people in your household? And then I found the average. Is that going to be the same for the whole city? No. Charlie did not use any randomization. He just did a convenience sample. Yeah, right? He just asked the people in his class. Charlie did not use a random number table to randomize in order to collect. Well, that doesn't matter. You don't have to randomize the students. In this investigation of households, each household represents a case. Charlie incorrectly sampled individuals instead of households. That's true. He did do individuals instead of households, right? He could have 2 people in his class that are brother and sister, or 2 brothers or 2 sisters, and they're in the same household, and he collected them both. That's true. Oh yeah, both A and C are correct. Yeah, that's true. So that should be our answer, aren't they? Yeah, so it should be A and C. This is a tricky question. So I didn't see A, B, C. There, it's both A and C are correct. There we go. Both A and C are correct. On that. We good there? Any questions on these kind? All making sense? On what makes data collection scientific or not so much? Okay.